So today we're going to create a customer management system directly inside HighLevel using forms and automations, and it's going to make your whole customer service process incredibly easy. So stay tuned and build along with us. So will HighLevel actually replace like Trello or any kind of task management software? Maybe, maybe not. But honestly, we've been using this system and it works out pretty well. And the way we've designed it is basically anytime somebody needs help, they fill out a form. When they fill out a form, it goes into our task management area. And then one of our associates will actually pick up the task, put it in progress, and then complete the task. Now, what's really, really cool about it is that one, it gives us an internal system that we don't have to pay anything extra for because we're using all the tools inside HighLevel. It creates a cool, really automation system that allows us to visually represent what kind of outstanding tasks that we have with the different teams, and more importantly, who's working on the task, how long has it been in there, and then we can create some basic automations to kind of like alert you if the task is taking too long, and also make sure that there's an escalation process just in case somebody needs a little more help or they need to get a manager involved. So the first thing that we're going to do, right, is we're going to create our pipeline, right, because we got to kind of create the pipeline that we want that's going to demonstrate, where things are in the task management process, right, or in the customer service process. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the left-hand side and I'm going to go over to opportunities. In opportunities, I'm going to go to pipelines and I'm going to create the flow. Now, I'm going to name my pipeline and I'm actually going to give it a little bit of emoji, right? Let's just do a little zap just to show that it's customer like kind of experience or whatever else, or moving quick to action, whatever. I mean, interpret it any which way you want. And I'm going to come in here and the first thing I'm going to do is name it. I'm going to just name it task management. All right. So then we can keep track of everything that's going on. And the first stage is going to be incoming customer request. All right. Second is going to be request assigned or request in progress. All right. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do request on hold, meaning something, or hold blocked, hold block. And then I'm going to do one last. It's probably going to be request escalated, request complete. All right, awesome. I think this is good for now. We're going to try to make it in there so it makes a little bit of sense, but that's going to be the case. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now that if it's save, I got my task management thing. That's going to be the first part. The second thing is we need a way for a customer to input the issues that they're having to make it really easy. And what I want to make sure we do is, depending on what gets selected, like what category gets selected, I want to assign it to certain individuals to ensure that they get notified that they have to pick up the request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, and now I'm going to go to forms because I need the form before I put it on a page, right? So I'm going to go to forms, I'm going to go to builders. And before I actually do that, let me actually go back one, because what I want to do is I want to create a folder inside of this right here. And this is going to be for task management. And I'm going to label it 01. Again, just keep it to our numbering system that we've had in the past. So you guys know we try to number and like name everything appropriately so then we can find it easily. Because when you start building inside a HighLevel, it's one of the tips that I always kind of push on people is make sure you're naming things appropriately so you can go back easily and find them, right? So first thing we're going to do is name it. So this is going to be task management form. All right. And customer request. Oop. And some things are always critical, right? Because it is going to be about the client. So it's going to be required last name, required email, required phone. Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here. But more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside a HighLevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in HighLevel. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. The consent, don't really need it because they're already a customer. Button, we're going to submit your request. Okay. And I'm not going to have any subtext. Privacy policy is okay to have that too. But again, we're just going to leave that there. More importantly, now what we're going to do is create some really customized questions, right? The first question is, what's the issue, right? So we're going to do a radio select, and because we want people like not getting crazy and giving us like 17 problems, we want to solve one problem at a time. So we're going to say, what category is your request? Okay. So we're going to say design, funnel, and website. Okay, we're adding another option, automations, phone, text, and then add another option, which will be probably email, and then Another option, other, okay? Yours could be something completely different. If this is a service-based industry, meaning you're a particular service client and you want to assign a certain salesperson, you could do it too. This could be used for incoming sales, so you want to assign it to a specific salesperson. It could be used for service requests. It could be used for pretty much anything you want, but we're going to try to make it easy. This is obviously for our agency. We want it to come in, and when it comes in based on what they select, we want to make sure it goes, into a certain category, assigned to a certain individual so they can help, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Select a group name. This is going to be additional info, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. All right, and once I do additional info, it automatically category, it usually is at the bottom. There's a load more button. You didn't see it. What category is your request? All right, and then we're going to do like a little custom box, multi-line text box. What is the issue you are facing? All right, again, additional info. Hit save. Okay, and more. All right, it always adds it to the bottom, just always know that. We are definitely going to make this required, and we're going to make this required. And the last field is, do you have a Loom video? Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to do a link. Where is link? Not file upload, single line. We'll just do it as a single line. That's perfectly fine. We'll hit next, upload. All right, and then select the group, additional info. And this will give the people the opportunity if they have a Loom video, because it does make it easier for any service whatsoever to kind of go through, especially if it's digital. Now, if this is service-based related, obviously you're not going to have this part, so it's okay. So awesome. So we got that here, and that's pretty cool. All that looks really good. So we're going to go ahead and hit save. Now, I need employees in this account. This is obviously a trial account, but we are going to add some fake employees real quick. So I'm going to hit the back button. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to my staff, and I'm just going to add some fake employees just so then we can have some assignments. So we're going to have Nuno N. All right. His email is nuno@nuno.com. All right. We're not going to add a phone or anything else like that because we're just going to create these fake people and we're not worried about it. So we're going to leave this here. I'm going to go ahead and create 4 more people, and then we're going to go back because I want to make sure that we assign these individuals based on what they select, because each one is going to have a special category. And then there's going to be like the other category where it goes to our main line. And then our operations manager is then going to assign that out, or it goes to the manager and they assign it out. So we're going to have those choices. So I'm going to pause the video while I create the other people, and I'll be right back. All right. So I went ahead and I added the 4 employees, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that form on a page, right? Because what I want to do, if my customers have an issue, I would want them to go in and just go ahead and go to the website. I'll make a link here. If I'm using HighLevel, I'll make it here. So if I'm using like a SaaS version of HighLevel, that I can put it right here. If not, I'll put it on my website so that if people have a problem there, they can just fill out that form and go directly to me. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to the funnels and I'm going to build a quick little page. And since I have some of these pages again, and I have my website design sales page that we did on another previous video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another page. I'm going to use create from blank, really super simple. And all I'm going to do is add the form in here to ensure that, I have a place that I can send customers by a URL, letting them know that, hey, come in here and fill out this form. You know what I'm saying? Please fill out something like that, right? I mean, obviously I'm just pulling this out, but you would have something similar like that. And then honestly, I'm just going to come over here, fill out a form. The form is going to be, again, this is why task management 01. Boom, and it's all set to go. I can have a nice thank you page, but for now, just for the sake of keeping moving the automations, we're going to go ahead and just leave it here. I'm going to hit the back button. We would have this form right here. The customer is going to fill it out, and then we're going to assign, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to automations, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to create a folder. And the folder, we're going to name it 03, and it's going to be customer management. All right, make it super simple. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create the workflow that is going to be when this actually starts. So the first workflow we're going to be is when the form's submitted, right? Because that's the action the customer is going to take. I get a request, hey, I got an issue, or we start informing customers. Anytime you have an issue, please, whatever you do, make sure you go in here and fill out this form just so that we can keep track of it and move it from there. So the first thing we're going to do is 01, right? We're actually going to go T for task management 01. You can do customer support, whatever you want to do. Customer support request. Okay. And I'm going to come over here. The first step is going to be the form fill, right? Form submitted. And I'm going to add a filter because I got to filter to the actual form that's filling out, or else anytime any form gets filled out in the system, this thing will fire. And we definitely don't want that, right? So the first step we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to hit the little plus sign, and we're looking for opportunity because we're going to update the opportunity first and make sure we move the card directly into our task management incoming customer request. I'm going to go ahead and hit this little tiny tag under opportunity name. Remember, the pipeline stage is that first stage we talked about. The opportunity name is right here. It's going to be contact, full name. All right. And then I put a little dash and I put contact, phone, and then another little dash. They're going to tell us what the issue is, but I don't want to put that in the card. So I'm going to leave that just with the contact name and phone. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. The second thing I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to create an if else, because based on the questions that they answered, I'm going to put them with the certain individuals. So this is going to be department. All right. So I come in here and I put design, right? And we're going to assign Andy to design. So design. So I come over here, I go to contact details, because this is the way it works. Whenever somebody fills out a form, it's going into a custom field. A custom field is associated with a contact. So that question that I asked, that basically was, you know, what are you looking for or whatever else? What category is your request? If this is design, funnels and websites, I'm going to give it to Andy, right? I add another branch. If this is automations, I'm going to assign it to Nuno, right? So go back over here, contact details. Remember, because it's all inside the contacts, and I can actually put in what category is this request. And if I say is automations, it goes there. I add another branch. This is going to be phone/text. We're going to go to Jerry. He's our resident phone and text expert. Not really, you know, obviously it's me, but I'm just going to say what category again, come into what category. And then I'm going to put is, and then this is going to be phone and text. And then last one, add a branch right here. It's going to be email. Again, contact details. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do this because it's going to be pretty cool. Contact details. We're going to type in what again here in the select area. What? And then is email. All right. And then the last is going to be the other. Contact details. What? Category request is. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and hit other. All right, now I have a branch that's going to happen. And what's going to happen is I'm going to assign the individual, assign to user. This is going to be Andy T. All right, automations, assign. Okay, this is going to be down to Nuno. Okay, since these two are also going to be Nuno, I'm going to copy that over and I'm going to copy this over. Oop. And what I'm going to do is not only is it assigned, it's going to be to Jerry. And then I could split it equally. And I actually want on the phone one, I want it unevenly going to Jerry first. So I'm going to put that a weight of 2 so you can see how we do it. So Jerry will get more requests when it comes to phone versus me. And when it means 2 to 1s, for every 2, I get 1. And he gets, 2 and then I get 1. That's how that works. And then in email, we got me. And anytime something is other or none, it's going to go to Mary, our operations manager. So I'm going to copy over here. I'm going to copy over here again. All right. And then other, this is going to be now Mary. Awesome. And then same thing with none is going to go to Mary. Okay, great. Now that that's been assigned, we now have to internally notify our users. So I'm going to send an internal notification. This is going to be an email, and the email is going to be from whatever, whatever the location area is and everything else to a particular, assigned user, because now we just assigned, you have a new design request. All right. Now that happens, we can grab the information from the customer because we have the questions that we answered, right? So contact name, come over here, boom, contact full name, contact email. All right. Contact email, boom, request. All right. We want to make sure that there's no issues with the request. And again, don't know why it does that. Sorry about that. You can search it. It'll be contact. It's all the way. I don't know why it's hiding there. That's super annoying. It's going to be custom fields. Let's see, there's a lot of questions. Where is it? Category request, because we want to make sure that the category is right, or else somebody's going to be like, wait a second, this isn't my job. Or, I don't know how to do this or whatever else. This is going to be issue that they're facing. Again, we are in the customer field and custom field. So let me kind of do this again. We go into contact because, again, the contact is that holds that form information, and we want to make sure we're grabbing it. We're going into custom fields, and I'm just looking for the question of whatever the issue is. Brief describe a business. Can you blah, blah, blah. Where is that? What issues you're facing, right? And then the last is, do you have a Loom? All right, Loom link. Because I'm already in there, see, it automatically puts me back in there, which is great. Loom video here. Now, this is all saved, and I can go ahead and hit save action. Now, what's cool is if I come in here, I can grab all this, and what I'm going to do is I'm also going to assign a task. Add a task, all right? I can pull it all in here, and then I can do the contact name and the contact email, all right? And, some other field. Oh, assign to, context assign user, due in. We always want to say at least 5 days, actually 3 days, that's silly. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save action. All right, I want to get a little fancy. What if I wanted to give the customer a ticket number and I want to create a ticket number before any of this? So I have an idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a ticket number so we can keep track of everything, but we're going to use somebody's date. But before I can do that, I got to go into a custom field and create a ticket number that is associated with the contact, right? So I'm going to do a single line. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to label it customer support ticket number. Okay. Group is going to be additional info. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that. So this is how we're going to build one. I'm going to come over here and I want to make sure it's a unique number every time. So there's some different cool ways to do this. This is, again, one way that actually my friend James Hurst taught me, and I thought it was really, really cool. But what you could do is assign to user internal notification. But before you do even the internal notification, let's create that number. So what we're going to do is we're going to update the contact field because it's a contact field. I added it to the contact. Update a particular field, update field data. I'm going to add the field. The field is going to be, I'm just going to write the word ticket because I just literally created customer support ticket number. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add day, month, year. I'm now going to add right now, which is the 24-hour time that it is right now. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add the seconds, because remember, there's no way the date, the time, and the seconds are all going to be the same. So now we have a really cool way of getting that number. All right. So I'm updating that field and now I have a customer support number. So I'm going to hit save in the internal notification. Guess what I'm going to do? And I'm putting a little dash here, customer support number. And then I'm going to do contact, custom fields. Where is my customer support ticket number? All right, I'm just going to copy this because I'm going to use it everywhere. All right, I'm going to save it and I'm going to come over here and I'm also going to put it in the task. Actually, let's put that first. All right, so I'm going to come over here. Boom, look at that. And you're like, wait a second, maybe we want it on the card before we update the opportunity. Yeah, we could do that, or we can just go back in and update the opportunity card that we've already created. So I'm going to come over here and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go opportunity. That's a cool thing about HighLevel. You can always go back and like fix whatever you want to improve, which is what I'm trying to show you guys. All right. And I'm going to come over here and then this is going to be coming request. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add another little dash. We have contact name, contact phone. And now if we go to contact, we go all the way down to custom fields. We now have a customer support ticket number and we're going to hit save. How cool is that? Right now I could take all of this, copy all actions from here and drop it. Now on the internal notification, I'm just going to change whatever this one was. So you see this is design. It's going to say automation. All right. Save, copy all actions from here, come in here and then just go to that internal. This is phone text. How cool is this, right? Phone text, come in here, copy all actions from here. Update internal notification. This one I believe is email. Email. All right. And then last but not least, copy all actions from here. And this one is going to be other. And you know what? Just for the sake of being safe, it's just sometimes something it might get misconstrued or it goes end up in the none column. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Oh, click the three little dots, and whatever we use for other, we're also using for none. So I'm going to copy all the way here. Boom, look at that. Now what it's going to do, it's going to assign the user, give them a task, and now they're going to get notified that there is a pending task waiting for them. Now it is the responsibility of the person assigned to the task to move the card to let them know that it's in progress. Oh, one more thing we want to make sure we add is just letting them know, emailing the customer, we received your request, here's your ticket number. So we received your request, here is your ticket number. Contact, custom fields, customer ticket number, where are you? Customer ticket number, customer support number, boom. All right, and then you would write a nicer email, but you know, for the sake of time, you kind of get it. Boom, and then what we can do, again, getting super fancy with this, we can hit go to, is everybody's going to have the same one. Come in here and we're going to click to this email, meaning they get here, they automatically go to that email. And guess what we can do? We can, oh, well, I guess you can't, it won't let you do. Oh, that's kind of strange, but anyway. Or if you're, you know, if it's not going to let you do that, that's one way to do it. Or we could just delete and just do this. Copy, action, copy here, copy, action, copy here. because no matter what, you would have to create a go-to, so it's kind of pointless. So doesn't matter. Copy, action, go here. Copy, action, go here. Beautiful, and hit save. All right, wow, we got a pretty awesome whole entire customer service thing going on right here. Now, what we want to do is when somebody moves it over to customer support, we want to update the customers. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch. This is going to be our T2, T02, and this is customer request in progress. All right, come over here, hit the little plus sign, and it's going to be now when the pipeline stage changed. All right, pipeline stage changed in pipeline, and it's going to be task management. And now when somebody moves it to the stage of in progress, we want to alert the person, right? So I'm going to come over here, and we are just going to do email, send email, from name and everything else. This time it's going to be the user assigned, the username, user email. Subject line will be, I have your request and I am working on it. You know, customer first name over here, contact, first name. Just want to give you a heads up that I am on your issue and will be contacting you shortly. I have this as your email. All right. Again, obviously, because you're going in there, please respond back if there is anything else I should know. And then that can start the communication trail going back and forth. So that's kind of like, okay, great, it's in progress. I want to know and everything else. Now, what we're going to do is create a failsafe. What we want to do is give it a 2-day mark. If this thing is in there for 2-day marks, it's going to send the assigned user that this ticket is still open, and it's going to escalate to the manager. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from, not for recipes. I'm going to come over here, start from scratch. Now we're going to create an automation that is going to remind the users that nobody's picked up the ticket and that they have to move it into progress because I don't want any tickets lying down more than a day or so, right? So new customer request, stale request. Now we're going to use a trigger called stale opportunities, which means that if it stays in a column in the pipeline for longer than a day, what will happen is this thing will fire a reminder every time until it gets moved to another pipeline. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to go in pipeline, and it's going to be task management. I'm going to add a filter. The filter is going to be in the pipeline stage of incoming requests. If it's longer than a day in there, I want this to fire. All right. So I'm going to come over here, and what I'm going to do is send an internal email to the assigned user, letting them know, hey, you have, and I'm going to, hey, assigned user, you have request that has not been picked up yet. All right. And since we have ticket numbers, we can just put in the ticket number and the number here and go to contact. Remember this, custom fields. And then we have a customer support number. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Want to make sure Control A, Control C, Control V. All right. This is if, again, it stays in that new customer request area. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Awesome. Now I want one that's going to fire whenever it's longer than 2 days inside the in progress, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the workflow. And this is going to be not a new stale customer request. This is going to be in progress for more than 2 days. All right. I'm going to create that. Should label it 04. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, just change the name to 4 because it's our 4th one. And then the stale opportunities this time, instead of incoming request, it's going to be the request in progress, and the duration is 2 days. Internal notification is, instead of saying your request is not picked up, it's going to be you're still in progress for this customer support ticket. And I'm going to do this. Boom. And remember, this stale opportunities thing will fire every 2 days until it gets moved. With the whole point being, you want to make sure you have that. Now, if it stays longer than 2 days, I also want to send an internal notification to the manager so then they know what's going on, right? So I'm coming over here, and then in here, instead of assigned user, it's going to be a particular user, and it's going to go to Nuno N because I'm the manager. And it says the assigned user now has, let's see, user, full name, in progress for 2 days. Check in. All right, I'm going to come over here, Control C, boom, V. Username, whenever you see this happen like this and it's got the highlighted thing, you got to redo it. For some odd reason, it's been doing this error and it causes an issue where it thinks it's a link and it doesn't go out right. Okay, so now it's in progress for 2 days. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. But remember, I also have if something goes on hold, right? If something goes on hold, I want to make sure I take care of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this workflow. I'm going to call it T5. And this is going to be request on hold. All right. And we got to find out why that is. So as a manager, I got to understand. So here, instead of using scaled opportunities, somebody's going to put it on hold and we got to know why, right? So here it's not scaled opportunities. So we're going to delete the beginning trigger. I'm going to add a new trigger, opportunities, right? Because this is when the pipeline stage is going to change. And here I'm going to do in pipeline, the task management pipeline. Come over here, pipeline stage. It could be on hold. All right. And it's going to get notified to the person. Your task is now on hold. All right. Same thing. Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V. All right. And again, it gets notified to the manager because I want to know when something gets pulled on hold because I got to see how I want to interact with it. All right. And then boom, save, and you can see from the user, again, no problem. Now, the other one is also going to be the escalation, which we need that. So a lot of this is just the pipeline management piece of it, which makes it super easy, right? All you're doing is moving cards to cards. So duplicate the workflow. This is now going to be T6, and then it's going to be escalated. All right. Boom. And instead of here, now it's escalated. When it goes to escalation, you have it here. And then again, your task has been escalated. Boom, Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V. Boom, come in here. And then you have an escalated task. Now, the first thing is I would then look on the notes because I would advise my people to write on notes of the clients so I can see what's going on and I can go from there. And now I have a full system in here, right? Now, when I come in here, remember, because a task was created, this was done. What I can do is I can come in here and do the last one, which is task complete. So I'm going to start from scratch, right? And this one is going to be T06, right? We're doing this from scratch. This is going to be task complete. Oh, come over here. This is, again, when they're going to move to the pipeline. There we go. Pipeline stage. Come over here, add a filter, in pipeline, task management, pipeline stage, complete. All right, and the first thing I want to do is add a note to the customer file that a task complete. And actually, we can go back and add notes for every stage if we want to just capture everything that's going automatically. But if we're training our employees right, they should be adding in the notes anywhere. But we'll have task complete, and then what we'll do is we'll add the ticket number and come over here. Remember, contact, custom fields, customer support number, hit save action, and we have it as a note. The second thing we're going to do is internally remind our associates to close the task out because they also were assigned a task. So email and say assigned user, close the task in the system out. And this is going to be a reminder. All right. And then we're going to do the name at least because by then he definitely should know what the customer name is. And then we're going to put the ticket number right in here. It's an old thing. Again, you see that blue? Don't let that blue happen. Replace it with contact, full name here. And then we're going to do the ticket number, CS number. It's going to come over here. Customer support number. Remember, we go to contact because it's a field. Then we go to custom fields because it's a custom field that we created. And then we're going to go over to customer support ticket number, hit save action. And here we go. Now we got that. It's in its own notification. It's getting a note added to the file. And then the last but not least, we're going to send an email to the client. And it's going to say your ticket has been closed. All right. And then CS number. That's why the number is so cool because like that, you can always have it. Customer, remember, it'll get updated every time. This is why you probably want to keep it as a note because remember, it's going to override that value because every time they put in a new ticket, it's going to override it. So we're going to come over here and it's going to be customer support ticket number. Boom. Please respond back if any issues or if you like to share some feedback. Okay, boom. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You have a full task management area. You can do this also where it's not only customer support. You can do it where you're assigning people tasks for them to do and they're tracking it in progress. And then you just got to make sure that they complete. So there is a lot of stuff that you can do in there. There's also, if they didn't move the card, but they completed the task instead, let me just go to the task complete one. You can come over here. And if you put, you see how task completed, if they complete the task, what you could do is you could filter it would just do the same exact thing. Assign user is whatever it is, if you wanted to do by user. But anytime a task is complete, you can, put a note, internal notification for them to, again, make sure that they close the task right. This wouldn't matter. Honestly, I think the pipeline works a little bit better right now than this one, but you could do it also for there if you didn't want to use the pipeline status change. You can also send, if you have like a Google, review, you can send them to set up a Google review and just leave a Google review in there, but you got a full task management situation in here and customer service support system that you didn't have prior. And you can take this to a whole nother level too. You can put it in stages if you wanted to create, let's say you're doing website design and you want to have different stages and has people completing stages, you move them along. You can have that there too. This one for customer support, we're using internally and it works out pretty well, but you can do it for whatever you want to do in there. But hopefully this helps and you guys created a nice customer support system for yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.